Hey there, online students. It's Monday, January 23rd. Welcome to the second week of classes in spring 2023. I pray that your semester has gotten off to a great start. I just want to remind you that these videos are something I send out every Monday. They're designed to keep us on track, to keep us connected. Please watch them and then let me know if you have any questions as a result. So let me dive right in and let's talk about what I've got going on in NT 5103. This particular class is starting with textual criticism. We've already done a good bit of work on the theory. Now we're going to work on the practice. And what you'll notice is that the practice is going to take the next 2 weeks. In this first week, we are working on internal evidence, and you've got a couple of discussion areas to work on where I ask you to post something and interact with your classmates. And that will be on Wednesday for internal evidence. And then external evidence is going to be focused on Friday. And again, in these discussion areas, what you'll do is post something and then interact with your classmates. It's a pretty generous grading scale, but I do want you to interact with your classmates on these things. Talk about the method, talk about what you're doing, talk about how to improve. It's a good opportunity for some peer learning in that regard. And then the next week is when you'll actually focus on writing up the particular problem. So I'll talk about that more next week on Monday when I do the weekly video update for then. I also want to keep you apprised that you are going to have to do the proficiency exam. The proficiency exam is a exam which reviews the elements that you learned in first year. It has vocabulary, paradigms, parsing, and translation. And so I want you to be sure to keep this in mind. That's going to be due in a couple of weeks on February 3rd. So just be reviewing that and be ready to take that around the same time that you turn in the text criticism assignment. In NT 5104, we are now starting our work on the exegetical method. And we first start out with what is called a structural layout. And so for this week, you're going to be focusing on that. You'll notice that there are 3 assignments here. The diagrams is something that you did similarly in NT 5103. You're putting every word of Ephesians chapter 2, 11 through 22 on the diagram. Then you're going to do grammatical analysis on that. You'll need to first turn it in here as a clean copy and then write your grammatical analysis according to the instructions. And then you're going to do the structural layout. The argument is that you've got to know the details of the grammar before you can move to the structural layout. So the first 2 assignments, the diagrams and the grammatical analysis, are really a review of NT 5103. And then the structural layout is augmenting what we did in NT 5103 and moving a little bit forward with it. We want it to be more precise. So you've got a discussion area here with where you can ask questions about the assignment, so don't hesitate to do so. And I'll interact to give clarity as we go along the way. In NT 5110, what we're currently working on is our first content module. We're focusing on the Hellenistic political background. And what you'll notice is that each of our modules will run fairly similarly. There's reading to do, you have a reading report, there are videos to watch, then you have a video report, and then in this module there's a discussion question. Now, these discussion questions are meant to give you a chance to interact with the material and interact with your classmates. You can see here that the specific question we're asking you to dialogue about is what were the effects of joining the kingship and the high priesthood. Make sure that you review what's required. You have to do an original post and then 2 interactions. Total of about 500 to 800 words, but you want to show that you're thinking about the material, you're learning and growing in your understanding of what's being presented. And of course, it's always much better if you start the discussions sooner in the week rather than later. Nobody wants to be up late Friday night at 11 o'clock trying to find interactions with their classmates to finish this assignment. So the sooner the better as far as those discussion questions go. All right, well, that's what we've got going on this week. You're welcome to contact me if you have any questions. I will be, of course, watching the material, watching as we do things as we go along the way, and I look forward to interacting with you this week. And I hope you have a great week, and I hope your semester continues to start off really, really well.